I just spent 45 minutes setting up to film this video, and the gardeners just showed up next door. So bear with me for the beginning of this video. I'm sure they'll leave while I'm shooting it, but I'm sorry for the background noise. What have I been doing this week? Playing with a Rubik's Cube. I've never solved a Rubik's Cube my entire life, and I just did that this week. Now, I haven't tried my entire life, but I do remember as a child I had one of these, and I would mix it up and break it apart, put it back together correctly, mix it up, break it apart, put it back together correctly. That was my solution to putting this back together. But recently, one of these fell into my hands, and I have spent the last few days during the evenings while I'm watching TV fidgeting, and I have now solved a Rubik's Cube legitimately. I cannot convene the sense of accomplishment that gave me. I am so proud of this thing. Yeah, so Rubik's Cube, we're pretty much pro. Alright, so in a previous video I mentioned if I got 20 likes and people wanted to see a quad build, I would do one. That's what this video is. I'm going to do my best to kind of convene what I'm doing with it, and I hope it sparks the interest in some of you for FPV pilots. This is a neat hobby that's in its grassroots right now. Everything's kind of a DIY, but it's something very passionate to me. I actually have a new toy that I want to make a video about, but I feel like I can't show you that until I make this quad. And because I promised I would do a build video, I need to build that quad for you guys so that I can show you my new toy. I'm probably going to give you a sneak peek at the end of the video, but the next video is going to be about this. It's not a toy. It is... I'm not sure how I got this far in life without one so far. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on Let's Build a Quad. Does it seem dark? Check this out. Alright, this video is going to be filmed in several small increments and edited together. It is Dad Day with Lincoln. Mom's at work, and then she has meetings tonight. You can hear him playing. He's able to walk around in a walker now, but I don't want him going down the driveway, so I strung the hose across so that it stops the walker. Okay, so the build we're going to be doing, you know, I'm not a professional by any means. I'm still a beginner at this. But I can get the job done for what I need them to do. So this particular build, we're going to be building this frame right here. This is a frame that came in a monthly subscription package I have from Quadbox. It's called a rad-x, and you are able to go to their website and buy it. If you go to quadbox.com, you can buy this frame. It's a very heavy duty. The arms are very thick. This is called a X frame. It's not a stretch. It's not a stretched X, which would either be stretched this way or this way. It's just your regular X frame. But the reason why I'm doing this particular build now is this top plate. It's a very long, flat top plate. A lot of the drones I'm flying lately have another frame in the front that kind of kicks up at a 30 degree. But I'm going to try something like this. It's just really heavy duty. It can carry a GoPro and a battery with lots of room to spare. Don't have to worry about tight spaces there. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be reusing a lot of the parts for the Lego drone, and the main part are these blaster motors from Rotor Riot. They have this new Fly More program where there's a warranty on the motors, so let's just go ahead and use those. And the first thing we're going to do is install them on the ends of the X frames with the included hardware. Alright, so all four motors are on. There's plenty of wire. If there wasn't, we could add some, but these are brand new motors and plenty long enough to reach the electronic speed control that's going right here in the middle. So the next step is going to be, let's put on our speed controller. The speed controller we're going to be using is a 4-in-1 from Emax. This is part of their Magnum stack. So you just buy one thing. It comes with the speed controller, the flight controller, and a video transmitter. I've kind of cannibalized some of these parts during the Lego build, but we'll be putting them back together. Alright, so all the wires have been soldered on. We could worry about wire management after it's all built. You know, zip tie them down, tape them to get things out of control and away from the props. But now that all the wires are hooked up to the motors are installed, the next step we're going to do is we are going to install this battery lead. Right, battery connector all soldered on. Now we're going to move on to the flight controller. By using the Emax Magnum flight controller, like an all-in-one stack, it's going to save us a lot of time. This board right here is going to have our gyro, buzzer, the access for Betaflight to control the PIDs and the stuff we do on our computer. It's got some LEDs. But the nice thing about having an all-in-one stack is that instead of connecting this to our flight controller with wires and soldering it and figuring out all the ports, we have a little cord. So this has two plugs that we just plug into the ESC, on the other end into our flight controller board, and we are ready to go. Okay, flight controller board installed, wire is connected, and the next step, thanks to a recent Amazon delivery just a few minutes ago, is going to be the receiver. This is the part that allows me to use a remote control and tell the drone what to do. This is a XM Plus receiver for FR Sky, which is an open source type of transmitter. So I love to buy anything or use anything that's open source. I really appreciate that. Alright, the receiver here, these are dual antennas for reception, is all soldered on. We will probably attach that with some double-sided tape when the build's kind of more further along and I figure out where exactly I want to place this. On to the next step, which is the video transmitter. Again, this just comes with the Magnum all-in-one stack. As you can see, buying an all-in-one makes this a very simple process. So I'm going to have to go dig through my drawers and find a few more standoffs, but the way this connects is it just has a little plug that just plugs in there. And then with the standoffs, it'll secure it. But that's it. That is the VTX is mounted and connected to the power distribution board. So on to the next step, which is going to be figure out some sort of camera system for this. I do want this to be a full FPV drone. I plan on doing some footage with a GoPro on it. And in order to get some good footage, I also need to see what the GoPro is seeing. So having an additional camera on there allows me to see exactly what I'm shooting. So let me figure that out, and then I will bring you guys along for the next step. Alright, so I have this Foxeer Predator Micro. This one, like I said, this drone, I plan on it carrying a GoPro, so I need to make everything as light as possible. The Micro is kind of a frameless camera. Let me show you. So there's no really case around it. It's just the electronics barely protected, but because of the way this frame design is, the camera will be totally protected by the frame bottom plate and top plate. So I think it's a good choice for this drone. And to hook it up, it's just a matter of I have this wire that plugs into the back of the camera, and then these 3 pins right here I solder power, negative, and my on-screen display. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so I soldered these on. I braided them to make them kind of cleaner. I installed this Foxeer lollipop antenna that will kind of hang out the back a little bit, but away from the props. This is for the video transmitter. Alright, let's button it back together and do some wire management. Okay, that's it. I threw some propellers on there. I'll add a battery strap. I need to run to the hobby store and get a battery strap, a couple standoffs, some Teflon tube to kind of run my 2 antennas through. But that the video transmitter antenna I added, feel like that was made for this drone. That fits perfect in there. Now I gotta add a GoPro mount. I'll probably put some skids on the bottom to protect the frame from landing on blacktop or cement. I have it next to the quad I worked on in one of my last videos. Like I said, I added a GoPro to it now, so that has a mount. The GoPro could come out for charging or getting the SD card out, or a flight that I don't want to fly with the GoPro. But soon this one will be my camera drone. So that's it. It's really that simple for this hobby. There are more complicated builds. Like instead of using a 4-in-1, I could have used individual ESCs. They're about the same price to start off with, but a 4-in-1's a lot easier. Just when you have one go bad, you have to replace the whole board. Where if you use the individual ESCs, as they go bad, you just replace the one. Trust me, I'll still be sharing the story of this drone in future videos as I add more stuff to it and polish it up. So, I promise you a little build video. There's a lot more detailed videos out there if you're really interested in this stuff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.